This is a velvet ant. But it's not really an ant, it's a wasp. And it's not even velvet. Yeah, it's okay if you're confused. So are most people, since the females don't have wings and can't fly. Well, naming the thing ant doesn't help either. Anyway, no wings means they crawl on the ground like ants. And unlike normal wasps, they don't build their own nests. They actually take over the nests of bees, flies, and other insects. Wow, pushy little things. It's easy to take someone's house when you have one of the strongest stings among all wasps. That and its exoskeleton, that's a skeleton on the outside, is like real armor. Both have allowed this ant imposter to have hardly any predators at all. If you ever get stung by one, first of all, ow! It hurts! And it hurts for hours. Secondly, you'll know it was a female, because the males can't sting. Small comfort, I know. So if you and this bizarre little bug ever have a rendezvous, just tip your hat and back away slowly. And always wear shoes. Remember, these things don't fly. Most stings happen from someone accidentally stepping on them. And if you see this guy, don't step on him either. If you're fast enough, that is. These things are super speedy. Even though the house centipede looks like a monster from horror flicks, it's on your side. It feeds on the pests that live in your house. Flies, moths, cockroaches, termites, spiders, all on the centipede's dinner plate. Oh yeah, its bite is venomous, but the venom is harmless to humans. Besides, their tiny mouth parts can barely break through human skin. And your pets are perfectly safe too. If you ever see one, just let it carry on with its business of keeping your house clean and insect-free. Now, if you ever run into its cousin, the giant centipede, run the other way! This unearthly-looking creature can be as long as your forearm. And your fear is justified with this one. It casually dines on not only small insects, but also scorpions, tarantulas, lizards, mice, and rats. There are even known cases of these guys going after birds, bats, and snakes. The giant centipede's venom is extremely potent. It easily stops their lunch in its tracks. For humans, it's usually survivable, though not a fun experience to put it lightly. Look, but don't touch. The Japanese giant hornet's wingspan is so wide, they're sometimes called the sparrow bee, and its stinger is long enough to puncture a beekeeping suit. So don't plan on that saving you. Worse still, these guys are never alone. When one hornet detects danger, it sprays venom on its opponent. The smell of that spray then attracts its friends. In just a few seconds, you'll find yourself face to face with a swarm of these behemoth buzzards. Running might save you, but get ready for a long-distance race. Japanese giant hornets can fly up to 50 miles a day. A marathon is half that distance. The adorable fluffy puss moth caterpillar is irresistibly touchable, like a tiny kitten bug. Wrong. Keep your hands away. That fur is actually a toxic toupee of venomous spikes. When something comes in contact with it, say your hand, the bristles get embedded in the skin. The venom irritates the site. A severe burning sensation follows and can last up to an hour. The brown recluse doesn't want to go anywhere near you, as much as you don't want to go near it. And these spiders are mostly passive, staying tucked away out of sight and undisturbed in cellars, attics, and other quiet dark places. If you accidentally bother it, it usually just scurries away. But if you provoke it, you'll regret it. Its venom is highly potent, even stronger than a rattlesnake's. Once it enters the body, the venom starts breaking down tissues, robbing them of the oxygen they need to live. The effects can worsen and last for months. But brown recluses can go without food for almost 10 months, so this fella is unlikely to go into your kitchen or bedroom in search of grub. So there, you can sleep peacefully knowing that, right? The Maricopa Harvester Ant is one of the most venomous in the world. Like the giant hornet, its poison serves as a marker for other harvesters, and they come to the rescue. In this case, you need to book it out of there as soon as possible. Only a dozen bites have enough venom to take down a good-sized rat. And this is no bee sting when it's one and done. These ants can inject their venom multiple times. Now, picture this. You're all tucked in at night, dozing off in your warm bed. But in the middle of the night, you have an unwanted visitor. It crawls across the blankets, up to your face, finds your lips, and mwah, it kisses you. And when I say kiss, I actually mean bite. The kissing bug usually hides during the day and goes out looking for food at night, and their food is blood. Mwah. They have a nasty habit of biting people on the face and neck, earning them their other nickname, the vampire bug. Actually, I think we could have started with that nickname, but… Now, the tsetse fly lives in Africa and looks mostly like any ordinary fly. But if you see it, run with all the strength in your body. Their bite, if not treated immediately, usually isn't survivable after a few months. And these things have been terrorizing the Earth for over 30 million years. I wasn't around then, but back in the day, the whole animal world looked completely different. The tropical humid climate on the entire planet helped the tsetse feel comfortable and multiply. Let's move on to South Asia, where you'll find the red Indian scorpion. It's only about the size of your finger, but it's one of the most venomous in the world. They mostly mind their own business, feeding on insects or even small lizards. But they have a habit of living near human settlements, especially in rural areas. And that's where accidents often happen. After a long day of catching food and doing, scorpion stuff, these guys like to crawl into someone's bed at night or early morning. Or they just fall from the ceiling right on you, sleeping there so soundly. Just imagining it is nightmare fuel. Now, the most infamous spider of them all, the black widow. You can't miss her. That iconic red hourglass on her belly. This teeny tiny spider, only the size of your fingernail, packs a punch. Highly venomous? Check. And the stuff goes straight for your nervous system. It's potent enough to cause muscle cramps and spasms within hours. The good news? It's mostly survivable for us big humans. The teeny tiny black widow's web is surprisingly strong. It can easily hold a lizard or toad. And yes, she got the famous name because she tends to, gobble up her mate. The title for the most venomous spider in the world belongs to the Sydney funnel web. Some applause? Yeah, that's enough. The name comes from the shape of the web it builds. Looks like you're peering down a tornado from above. It's big, it's dangerous, and it's fast. This sinister Spidey can grab its prey firmly and bite several times. If your skin happens to be the target, you have less than an hour to get an anti-venom in you. But not all terrors are big. Some sit comfortably on the tips of grass and wait for their lunch to pass by. Oh look, it's your leg. The monster grabs on and makes a human juice box out of you. Ticks might be small, but that's what makes them so scary. They can hide anywhere – your grass, bushes, on the ground, in the leaves. You hardly feel them crawling on you, and their bite goes undetected. Sometimes they can even make a person sick. Now, any guesses for the most dangerous insect in the world? We've had a lot of contenders – venomous spiders, ruthless ants, and nightmare-inducing centipedes. But the one thing that wreaks the most havoc on the human population is mosquitoes. They're not venomous, their bite doesn't hurt, it's the sicknesses they carry. Mosquitoes are excellent hunters. They have a special organ that detects the carbon dioxide we produce when we breathe. Once they find their target, a mosquito can drink 3 times its weight in blood. These vampires are one of the oldest species on our planet, going back over 200 million years. Poor T-Rex couldn't even swat one with those tiny arms. Back then, they stayed in warm tropical areas, but now they can be found on all continents except for Antarctica. Those lucky penguins. And humans are to blame for all that. Mosquitoes would hide their larvae on ships and sail the world with us. That might even sound kind of romantic if it weren't for the context.